This past season, Ryan Tannehill came alive with the Tennessee Titans. After taking over from Marcus Mariota, he played the best football of his entire career. He was playing the way many people thought he would, coming out of Texas A&M after moving to quarterback his junior year. Throwing 22 touchdowns in 10 games started, while helping get the Titans to the AFC Championship after going through the defending Super Bowl champion and this year's MVP, has allowed Tannehill to get a 4-year, $118 million contract, which ended up putting away all the rumors that the Titans were interested in Tom Brady. So after being taken 8th overall in the 2012 draft, Ryan Tannehill's career could finally take a turning point for the better in Tennessee. The same cannot be said about the 7 players drafted before him. Even though Andrew Luck's career was short but very sweet for a quarterback in today's game, especially since he was a number 1 overall pick, Andrew Luck was easily the best player coming into the draft and would have arguably been a first overall pick if he declared a year earlier too. He was a 2-time All-American who would on average have a passer rating of 170 in his final 2 seasons. Peyton Manning's neck surgery kept him out the entire season in 2011, and the Indianapolis Colts were clearly incompetent without him by going 2-14, with one of the losses being a 62-7 blowout by the Saints on Sunday night. This in return landed the Colts the number 1 pick in the draft, and just after making Manning the highest paid player in football, he was cut in favor for Luck. Andrew Luck would have an immediate impact with the Colts in his rookie season by leading them to 11 wins and back in the playoffs. He would break Cam Newton's record for most passing yards by a rookie with 4,183 yards. The Colts would proceed to make the playoffs in the first 3 seasons of his career. Luck would even take Indianapolis all the way to the AFC Championship in 2014, but got ran off the field by the Patriots. His luck was never good with the Patriots. In that 3-year span though, he would make 3 straight Pro Bowls and have a season where he threw for 4,700 yards and 40 touchdowns. After 2014, it started to go downhill. He started to get injuries that would keep him out of games and negatively affect the Colts. From 2015 to 2017, Andrew Luck would miss a total of 26 games, which included missing the entire 2017 season. After going 11-5 in 3 straight seasons, the Colts fell to back-to-back 8-8 seasons and then a 4-12 season in 2017. In 2018, after starting very slow with a 1-5 record, Andrew Luck and the Colts won 9 out of the last 10 games. Luck threw for almost 4,600 yards and 39 touchdowns. Indianapolis finished with a 10-6 record, and Luck would make the Pro Bowl and win Comeback Player of the Year. Just before the start of the regular season though, Andrew Luck caught everyone off guard by retiring. Colts fans were so mad that they booed him right after it was announced. All the injuries had gotten to him so much, and we rarely see a player of his caliber retire so early. Robert Griffin III was another quarterback who had injuries derail him, and he was taken right after Andrew Luck. The Heisman Trophy winner out of Baylor played all 4 years and even started his college career when he was still 17. In his Heisman season in 2011, he threw for almost 4,300 yards and 37 touchdowns with a 72 completion percentage and a passer rating of 189.5. He also rushed for 700 yards and 10 touchdowns. RG3 also won a multitude of other awards in his final year at Baylor. As a rookie, Robert Griffin III set the league on fire with his dual threat ability. The head coach, Mike Shanahan, looked to take advantage of RG3's gifts as much as possible, and it worked out for year 1. Washington finished with a 10-6 record, and Griffin threw for 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, and had 815 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns too. This season would give Robert Griffin III the only Pro Bowl selection of his career. Right after this great start to his career, things began to go straight downhill for RG3 very fast. After tearing his ACL, LCL, and meniscus, Robert Griffin III's play declined noticeably in year 2. throwing less touchdowns and more interceptions, he never really recovered and even got hurt again in a game against Denver. After 13 games, Shanahan finally made the decision to bench Robert Griffin for the remainder of the season over concern for his long-term health. Kirk Cousins, a quarterback who was also taken in this same draft, would replace him. RG3 would come back to start the 2014 season, but a dislocated ankle would again keep him out until week 9. After 3 straight losses, he would later be benched in favor of Colt McCoy. It would only last for a second though, as McCoy would injure his neck and Griffin would be thrown right back in. He would finish the season with a 2-5 record as a starter, and the Redskins would finish 4-12. Griffin wouldn't play at all in the 2015 season and was released right after the season ended. He would sign with the Cleveland Browns, but a shoulder fracture would put him on injured reserve. He would be released once more. RG3 has been signed with the Baltimore Ravens since 2018, where he's been backups to Joe Flacco and now Lamar Jackson. He's seen some time in at quarterback, but right now he's pretty much there to mentor and help Lamar Jackson. A player who had a more disappointing career than RG3 was running back Trent Richardson, who went 3rd overall to the Cleveland Browns. An Alabama running back that came right after Mark Ingram, Richardson had high expectations to live up to after breaking his rushing record. He looked promising in his rookie season, running for 950 yards and 11 touchdowns. He also had 51 catches too. Right after the start of the 2013 season, Trent Richardson was traded to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for a 2014 first-round pick. That pick turned into Johnny Manziel and then was released. He would bounce around to the Oakland Raiders and Baltimore Ravens, but would be waived by both teams. At a different change of pace, offensive tackle Matt Kalil was the first non-skilled position player taken in this draft at 4th overall by the Minnesota Vikings. He also had a brother, Ryan Tannehill, that played for the Panthers. Coming out of USC, Khalil helped support an offense that averaged nearly 460 yards a game. As a rookie, Khalil would make the only Pro Bowl of his career. He even later played for the Panthers in 2017 along with his brother. They were the first pair of brothers to play on the same offensive line in 24 years. Injuries would start to pick up in his career, and after missing a full season in 2018, the Panthers would release him. He would later sign with the Texans, but was released before the season started. Justin Blackmon was the 5th pick and also the first receiver taken in the draft by the Jaguars. 1,700 and 1,500 yard seasons in 12 and 13 games led many people to believe that you could not go wrong with Justin Blackmon. He drew comparisons to Anquan Bolden and Terrell Owens. Blackmon was also the highest taken Oklahoma State prospect since Barry Sanders in 1989. In a game against the Houston Texans, Justin Blackmon would have 7 catches for 236 yards and a touchdown. Although the Jaguars lost, Blackmon would post the most receiving yards by a rookie in a game since Jerry Rice. He would finish 2012 leading all rookies with 64 catches for 865 yards and 5 touchdowns too. The following year, Blackmon would be suspended 4 games for violating the league's substance abuse policy. He would have an impact in his return, but another violation would have him suspended much longer without pay. An arrest in 2014 would further keep him out, and after being denied reinstatement twice by the NFL, it's highly doubtful he never plays again. Morris Claiborne was taken 6th overall by the Dallas Cowboys from LSU. Claiborne wasn't even looked at as a first-round pick until his junior season, where he won the Jim Thorpe Award and was a unanimous first-team All-American. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones believed that Claiborne was the only player that the Cowboys would be willing to trade up for. Although he sustained a long enough career to still be in the league today, I can't exactly say that he's lived up to the expectations that Jerry Jones put on him. He's never made a Pro Bowl or had more than 2 interceptions in a season, and he's also missed 43 games over his career. After spending 5 seasons in Dallas, Claiborne would sign with the Jets for 2 seasons. This past season, he was a part of the Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs despite not even being active for the game. He's going to be a free agent, so we'll see if he stays in Kansas City. Mark Barron was the 2nd DB and last player taken before Ryan Tannehill. The hard-hitting safety was a force to be reckoned with at Alabama, being a 3-time All-SEC player and 2-time All-American. He would be taken by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he would become the highest selected Alabama defensive back in school history. Barron would be an immediate starter in Tampa Bay, where he would spend just 3 seasons there before being traded to the Rams. He would start being used at linebacker during his time with the Rams. Barron would have 2 seasons where he would have 100+ tackles. After some injuries and a drop-off in play, the Rams released him after the 2018 season. Shortly after his release, he was picked up by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Barron would start in 9 out of the 15 games he played in, and total 82 tackles, 3 sacks, and an interception. The Steelers just recently released him, and I expect him to eventually be picked up. So of these 7 players that were taken before Tannehill, only 3 of them played last season. The AFC South will be up for grabs, and I want to see Ryan Tannehill succeed. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, like and comment how you think the Titans will do next season, and if you like me, subscribe.